Good day. I'm Inga Ford of Yaya Yoga. Today I'd like to take a moment to talk to you about the 5 Tibetan Rites. The 5 Tibetan Rites are a series of 5 asana, or 5 practice poses that are all-encompassing. Tibetan monks have been using these particular 5 exercises for hundreds of years. They initiate vitality, energy, and they actually work all the large muscle groups of the body. If for some odd reason you feel that you're not strong enough to do some of the postures, I am also going to incorporate alternative poses that one can use. But the 5 Tibetan Rites, most people can do them for 5 to 10 minutes every day, and you will all feel invigorated, reinvigorated, and just wonderful, as though you have done a whole asana or yoga practice. So thank you for joining us for the 5 Tibetan Rites. Namaste. So for the first asana of the 5 Tibetan Rites, it's to get the chakras. It works on the basis of getting the whole energy cycles or energy wheels of the body going. And so there are 2 different ways to do this. One is a spinning motion, and by doing the spinning motion, you place your arms parallel with your palms facing the earth. You can either look to the right or to the left, but as you turn, you will do a clockwise turn. Most times when you're doing the rites, the practice, you will do it at least 7 times for each one of the main chakras, starting from the root chakra, the navel chakra, as well as the heart, throat, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra. So it's to help initiate getting those energy wheels moving. Eventually, as you get stronger in the practice, you'll be able to do them for a total of 3 cycles, or 21 times each for each one of the postures. But for the sake of our practice today, we're just going to show you basically what the motions are. So as I said before, extending your arms parallel to the earth, palms facing down, you can find a fixed point. You can either look to your right or to your left fingers, but you will turn 1 full cycle. You can do this as quickly or as slowly as you choose. But the truth of the matter is, if you're doing the practice first thing in the morning, it might be to your advantage to try to move a little slowly, always using the breath. So I'm just going to show you very quickly how the first asana goes. When you have finished your 7 cycles, close your eyes, stay very grounded and rooted in your feet. You'll feel maybe a little out of balance, because you might feel your equilibrium is off a little bit, but what the whole point is to do is to ground through your feet. If for some odd reason you have problems with vertigo or balance issues, another way to get the spine energized is to part your feet a little bit about hips width apart and bending your knees slightly. This is a Tai Chi Qigong move of actually swinging your arms in the direction that your body goes, bending your knees slightly, raising that heel. So don't lock your knees, and you breathe. Every time you come to center, see if you can exhale. I generally like to use the open palms and massage my kidneys and my upper shoulder. Okay? And you'll do this 7 times each side. When you finish, just very gently slow your breath, come center and straighten your knees, close your eyes. The second posture is breath. So you will come to your knees. As you come to your knees, make sure that your knees are directly underneath your hips, and making sure that your tailbone is slightly tucked under. As your tailbone is slightly tucked under, you can place your hands underneath your buttocks, underneath your glutes, or on the back of your thighs, whichever is most comfortable for you. And as you inhale, you're going to expose your chest up to the sky, drawing your head back. This is a sort of an upright cat-cow. As you exhale, you draw your chin towards your chest, rounding your shoulder forward. Exhaling, drawing your navel as close to the front of your spine as possible. You'll do this 7 times at your own pace. Every time you exhale, see if you can draw your shoulders down and back, reaching your elbows back. Exhale, drawing your chin to your chest, curling your shoulders over. Don't cheat yourself, draw in your air as much as you can fully, using your hands to your thighs as your fulcrum. And again, you'll do this one cycle is 7 breaths. Most people can do that, but if it is a little bit too much for you, again, you can find a block or a pillow. You can have the block vertical, having the tops of your feet flat, and supporting yourself in the same direction. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So that's an alternate to breath. The third posture of the 5 Tibetan rites is leg raises. Leg raises can be pretty challenging for a lot of people who don't have relatively good core strength. So if your back feels tender in any way, feel free to support your back by placing your palms face down under the small of your back. You can bend your knees, and as you bend your knees, you can come up to what we call tabletop. If you feel strong enough, you can extend your legs straight up, footprints onto the sky. So depending on what your level of comfort is, bending at tabletop or extending, if you don't have to have your palms underneath you, you will reach on your inhale, drawing your head up towards your feet, and exhale down. Inhale, exhale down. Inhale, exhale down. Again, 7 times for each one of the energy centers, each one of the chakras. It is not imperative that you bring your whole torso up. It's just bringing your shoulder and your head. So remember, the alternate move for that is supporting the small of the back, bending the knees, having your shins at tabletop. You can still do this. Or if you feel a little stronger, you can again still have your palms supporting your low back. So if you don't feel like you have the core strength to bring your legs all the way down, you can just bring them to tabletop. The fourth, which is probably the most challenging, that'll create a lot of tapas or a lot of heat, is reverse table. Some people feel a little tender in the wrist, so reverse table can be a little challenging for some. Before I show you the alternate move for this particular asana or pose, let me show you how it would look. So the fourth asana, reverse table, you'll place your hands behind your hips, not too far back, about maybe 6 to 8 inches. You will have your knees bent so that your heels can actually act as a fulcrum or a swing of your pelvis. The challenge on this particular posture is to actually using your core strength and your upper body. And because again, wrist challenges may be an issue, I have blocks here for those that may feel a little sensitive in their wrists that you can also place behind your hips. And place your hands with your fingertips pointing towards your buttocks, your hips, but still keeping your heels as your fulcrum. Okay, so let me just show you how this will look. So on an inhalation, you will draw your body up. If it's too much to drop your head, feel free not to do so, but not to strain your neck. If you're able to drop your head, you're able to use your upper body strength, and you can then push your pelvis up. As you exhale, you will use your heels to swing through, not touching the mat. Okay? So this is where you're going to create a lot of tapas because you're using a lot of your upper body strength, core strength, and your hips, your upper. 7 times for each one of the chakra wheels. If this seems a little too challenging for you initially, the alternate would be the bridge. The bridge is where you bend your knees, having your palms face down outside of your hips. If your back is tender, you can place them under the small of your back. As you inhale, use your pelvis to lift up, your shoulders flush onto the mat. This is an inhalation. And as you exhale, come down slowly. And again, 7 times. Grounding in your heels and your upper part of your feet. This is an alternate to reverse table. And the last, not least, is up dog, down dog. Again, after you've created so much heat in doing the other postures, you might feel a little winded, but hopefully you're always using your breath to keep you calm and collected. So for this one, it's this, you start out in all fours, curling your toes under, pushing yourself up into down dog. As you exhale in down dog, swinging your body forward, inhale to up dog. Remember, up dog is where your knees are up off the mat, flat feet. If that's too much for you, you can just stay in a low cobra. Curling your toes under, exhale, down dog. Inhale, up dog. Again. Now you'll do this 7 cycles. Again, if it's too much for you to just pop in down dog, up dog, you can always start on all fours and just go down dog, exhale, curl yourself up to a low cobra, and then push yourself back to down dog. Again, 7 times for each one of the chakras. As you've completed that whole regimen, if you feel like doing a second cycle, feel free to do so. But routinely, this takes about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the rate in which you choose to breathe and do the cycle. After that, always Shavasana. So I hope you've enjoyed the 5 Tibetan Rites. If you never have time to do a long yoga practice, I strongly recommend the 5 Tibetan Rites.